So this is what you're learning today, how to create complex shapes, duplicate and group layers, and text layers on Photopea.com. Why are we learning it? To understand how to create custom text shapes, custom text/shapes with different tools, and move multiple, and move multiple layers synchronously. How do we know we learned it? When students are able to create a custom shape layer and text that's upside down using 4 layers or more. So by the end of this, you should be able to spin your text around and everything like that, because you'll be able to do all that. All right, so the first thing is duplicating layers. So I'm gonna go to Photopea.com. I'm gonna create something new, file new. Make sure you name it complex shape. It's 3 inches, 3 inches in height and 3 inches in width, and DPI is 300. The background is transparent, and then click create. After you click create, go ahead and zoom in on this thing to make it bigger. And so first thing is we went through custom shapes last time that I forgot to mention in the last video. You can click and hold on the shape tool and get to custom shapes, and then click on custom shapes on the top right here, and then you are going to drag down and find whatever you want. Or you can like look for the Twitch icon or the logo right there, or you can look for Instagram, since you guys are Instagram. I'm a Facebook user. Yeah, I know I'm old. I'm not that old. So you can find all your custom shapes there, click on it, and then click and drag, and then hold shift to constrain the proportion, and there I go. I have a custom Instagram shape right here. All right. But that's not what I'm going to use. I'm actually going to use a really basic shape instead. I'm going to go to my rectangle shape, and I'm going to make a rectangle. There's a reason why I choose a rectangle. And then let's say I want to duplicate this. So I'm going to click on this layer using the move tool. So click on the move tool, click on this layer, and drag it all the way down to the bottom right here where you see this flippy page. That is the new layer icon. So you click and drag and drop on the layer icon, and you're going to make a copied layer, which is right here. But you don't see the copied layer right here. That's okay. Click the move tool and move the layer out of the way. Click into the shape tool and then change the colors, so that way you know that this is a different shape. All right, so whoop, there it is. That is how you duplicate layers. So let's say I have another shape on here. Let's do an ellipse shape. So I'm going to draw an ellipse shape down here. Let's go with a circle, because I like circles. Circle, you know, like a ling. The ling is a circle. It's a movie. Just go look for it. All right. So I'm gonna make that stroke black, and then now I'm going to go to the next thing, which is grouping layers in a folder for organizational purposes. So to move layers together, you have to group them in a folder. So there is a icon right here on the bottom next to the layer icon. Okay, new layer icon. This is a new folder icon. So I'm going to name this folder by double clicking on the word folder 3, and then I'm going to type in circle and rectangle. So I just type in circle and rectangle. And what I'm going to do here is I'm going to move the circle in there. So let's give my circle a different color here, so that it doesn't look so. I gotta click the shape first. Let's give it a different color here. That color. All right. So that way, when I move it in, I know what I'm moving in. So when you move a shape into a folder or a text into a folder, you can drag and drop on top of the folder. Make sure the folder has like an outline, like a black outline around it, and then now it's indented, which means it is in the folder. And then I can click and drag this this rectangle, the red one, drag it into that folder as well. So when I select this folder, I get to move this rectangle and this circle together. Yes, just like a ling. The ling is a circle, and you are forever together. No, I'm just joking. Moving on, that is how you save time by organizing and renaming anything you want. So that way you organize yourself and you are able to move these things at the same time. So all these layers that are indented, they are in the folder. They are grouped together to move together. However, if you accidentally click on auto select right here, if you click on a shape, it'll move it independently. So what you need to do is do not click auto select. You can click auto select for certain things to move one specific shape inside a folder without having to click this. You have to have auto select unclicked or unchecked, and then click the move tool, and then click the folder, and then you're able to move everything within that folder. If you want to move something inside the folder individually, I can click on the layer just like before and move it individually. Okay? So I'm going to move on now to save time. Lesson on a free transform. We're going to talk about the Cartesian plane, and I'm going to use my fancy pen here, my Wacom pen. And rotation at an anchor point, I'm going to explain that. I'm going to use math to explain this. Don't trip. I'm going to do easy math, all right? Don't be scared. Okay, so, and then I'm going to be talking about warping shapes into a custom shape. Oh, I should put just custom shapes. My English is horrible. Please excuse that. That's why I'm a math major. All right, so I'm going to go to Photopea, and I am going to go to talk about, actually I'm going to talk about the shape, the math first. Now back in the days, okay, you go, let's go to free transform. Click on edit, click on free transform, and then I can transform this shape, okay? But actually I want to transform let's transform the blue one because it's better to do it with a rectangle. Edit, free transform, okay? So now I want to relate all this stuff right here to some basic math that you've learned before. Now this is a part of single subject integration because I'm a technical class, so I have to do like math or some type of literacy type lesson in my lessons as well. So those are for all you nerdy teachers out there. Now how do you graph this ordered pair on a Cartesian plane? -3, 4. So -3 moves, you're gonna move along the x-axis. So x-axis goes left and right. -3 is on the left. 1, 2, 3. And then +4 is on the y-axis. So y-axis move up and down. Positive go up, negative go down. 1, 2, 3, 4. And that is the home or the location of this Cartesian plane, or I'm sorry, of this ordered pair. Okay? So that is what I'm going to do here, because I'm going to relate that to this rectangle being moved when I click on this x and I move the x coordinate. See how it goes left and right, just like the Cartesian plane. And if I go to the y value and I click on the y and I move it left and right, it should go up and down because I'm just dragging it left and right. And that is how I relate math to art. Hooray! Well, this is all really just math, you know. People like program this with math. And then the next thing is to adjust the width independently, and if you adjust the height independently. But if you want to constrain the width and the height and make it proportional or rational or stay scaled evenly, you click this like 3 line, okay, right there, and then when you drag the width or the height, they are constrained to staying the same size. It's scaled, okay? So in geometry, we say those shapes are similar, right? Remember that? Remember? Bringing flashback? Yeah, I know you guys are like, please stop. I don't like math. I do, so I'm gonna make it worth your while to learn math in my class. Okay, now the next thing is I want to talk about rotation, which is this part right here. You click here, and then you can spin the rectangle around. Okay? Now I'm going to bring back some more math memories for you. I'm going to make this 0. Now, remember that sharp thing, right? That you put on then you put a pencil on it, and then like connects like this, and then you have to like put it on paper, and then you draw like again a circle. The ring is a circle. No, I was just joking. I keep saying that because it was a really funny movie. If you know what movie, leave it in the comments down below. The anchor point is that sharp point that you put on the paper, and then you have your pencil that spins around that sharp point. That sharp point is the anchor. Okay, so right now my sharp point is right in the middle, so everything spins around that anchor point, or that sharp point of the compass. Okay, the pin part of the compass. Now what I can do here is I can move this to this corner, this anchor point to this corner, and everything spins around it. Everything that's here spins around that point. So look at it. See, the way it's spinning is very different from before. So I'm going to make this 0, and I'm going to move the anchor point again over here to this corner instead. So you're going to see it rotate a different way. See that? Okay. So knowing some basic math is extremely important. Okay. So don't just take it for granted. It is very important that you know these things. All right. I'm gonna go ahead and make that 0 again, and I'm going to try to center the center point again, or the anchor point, right? The center of the circle. Okay, anyway, I keep saying that. All right, so this one is going to skew. It's going to skew the y-axis, skew, see the points along the y-axis. These points right here are moving up and down. Okay, but the x-axis stays exactly the same, or the x-coordinate stays the same, the y-coordinates are changing. Okay, so we're skewing up and down, all right? And then this one is going to skew left and right, like this. So you can make some really interesting shapes by just messing around with this stuff. For the bilinear, bicubic nearest, it's just pick one. I'm not going to explain that. That gets too nerdy. And then you can warp the shape into a custom shape, and that's my favorite part, is actually warping the shape. So when you click on warp, you have more dots or more squares, right? And then these squares right here allow you to morph this into whatever shape you want. Look at that. Isn't that crazy? So yeah, just have fun with it. Just move these shapes around, and you see how it makes like a completely different shape, which is like really interesting. You can move these rectangles like that. Okay, you can move this. Sometimes it doesn't do anything, but you can move that around to open it up. So just pause this video and, you know, play around with these things. Okay, so I have done my part for that. I have talked about the Cartesian plane, rotation, the anchor around the anchor point, and warping shapes into custom shapes. Awesome. So now I'm going to show you how to unite shapes to make a new shape. So when you want to unite two shapes, I'm going to delete this layer right here. All right, just because I need that. Oh, and to delete the layer, just click on that. Just a reminder. So what I'm going to do now is I'm going to unite a shape with this circle. Okay, I'm going to unite some kind of random shape with this circle. So I'm going to click into this circle, and I'm going to change, and I'm going to go to the shape tool, and I'm going to click here. Instead of choosing shape, I'm going to choose path. Now don't forget, if you change this from path to shape, shape to path, remember what you're in, because this will affect how the tool works. Okay, so when I put path, what I'm going to do here is I'm going to take a rectangle and I'm going to merge it. I'm trying to get a rectangle, bro. There's the rectangle. All right, so I'm going to try to get a rectangle and merge it with this circle, and bam, right there. Oh wait, why didn't, oh, again, what is this picked? Shape. I'm going to undo. I'm going to pick this and make it a path. And so now I'm going to merge. See how they merge? Watch this. When I move them, oh snap, they move together. Oh, and guess what? You can mess around some more. Take this bad boy right here, free transform that sucker, right? And you can like do all this other stuff. Let's warp it. Yeah. Warp it. Just warp it. And then see what happens. Okay. Oh, this is a path, not a shape. Never mind. Can't warp it. Oh well. We tried. We really did try. So you can't warp it. Something new I just learned right there. Alright. So you can warp the shapes, not the path. So let's warp the shape. Okay. Go to edit, free transform, and then let's try to warp the shape. Warp the shape. Now I can warp the shape, hopefully. No, still can't warp the shape. Well, I guess I can't do it. But this is me experimenting while I'm teaching. Alright? But now you know how to make this shape, this new shape, and you can move it around just like that. Okay? Experiment around, play with it, and that's how you mash two shapes to make one shape, is to use path. Okay? Make sure you select path and select whatever layer you want to merge a new shape with the old layer or the old shape, and then make a new shape. Okay, let's move on because I'm trying to save time here. I gotta call somebody a little bit later. Moving on to the pen tool. The pen tool allows you to create custom shapes. Now we're only gonna focus on one of the pen tools, and the pen tool is right here. When you click on the pen tool, use free pen, because the free pen will allow you to draw whatever shape you want to draw. So let's say I just want to change that, and then I want to draw a heart right here. Alright, that's a sad looking heart, but it's okay, because what I can do is I can free transform that heart, and I can make it a better heart by warping it. So I'll just take this and drag that and open this up a little bit and do that. Okay, just a little bit like that, a little bit like this, and so on and so forth. And I'm gonna rotate it by just going to a regular free transform again. I'll rotate like that. So there goes my heart. All right, because I love you guys. I really do, actually. Not gonna lie. Not gonna lie. Might start crying. Don't stop. Don't do it. Don't cry, Mr. Heng. Don't cry. I miss my students. Real talk. Like, I wish I can go back and teach in the classroom. I'm gonna check that, and I have a heart. Okay, and then the next thing is, remember that you must pick free pen. The pen tool is quite eccentric in the way it behaves, so we're gonna save that for another day. Okay, and then we're going to move on to the next part, which is to create a text layer and warp and distort text. So the text layer is right here. Click on text, and then you can change to whatever text you want. Okay, and then click on this canvas, and then it's going to load a shape. You can change the size of the shape. Okay, and then you can change the color of the shape right here. So let's say I want to do, I don't know, green text. All right, let's just aqua green. Here we go, like aqua green, something like this, aqua green. All right, and then I'll click OK, and then I'm going to type in Mr. Heng 562, and then is me. All right. Okay, so what I can do here is I can highlight this text, and I can center it, I can right justify, I can left justify, I can change it to, you can kind of slightly see how these things change, how the shape looks, or the text look, slightly, okay, slightly, just mess around with this, slightly. But what I'm more interested in is actually warping the shape. So when I warp the shape, click on warp, you have to click on none up here, and then you'll be able to arc it, manipulate it like this, manipulate it like this, by just clicking and dragging, just messing around. Okay, you're just exploring, you're just learning, you're not creating anything yet, just exploring and learning. And you are going to, let's say if you want to change it to like a flag, see how it looks like a flag. Again, you can mess around with all the distortion, the bending, the vertical manipulation of it. Just play around, see what you like. You know, sometimes you want to create a wavy flag, you want your text to be wavy with it, so on and so forth. I don't know. It's all your creativity is up here. I can't tell you what is the best thing to do because that's art. I shouldn't tell you what to do. I teach you the tools, how to use the tools, but I'm not going to tell you how to create art, because art should be coming from you, not from this guy. All right. So that is pretty much all the tools that we're going to use for today. So make sure you pause and play around with these before you move on to the new tools. Now I want to stress why it is so important, all right, to have these saved as PSD, PNG, or PSD, PNG, or JPEG. All right, let me show you, because later on you're going to be learning how to do video editing. Now, for those of you who came in here for the Photoshop tutorial, or the Photopea tutorial, you're done. Class is dismissed. But this is very important, because when you go to these software like this, all right, and I'm going to show you the difference between what a PNG allows you to do in Premiere Pro, what a JPEG looks like, oh, it's not playing. You know what? I'll just delete these, so I don't need these. I'm going to demonstrate here really quick. I'm going to remove this, I'm going to remove that, and I'm going to remove that. And I'm going to import my new shapes that I'm about to save in Premiere Pro, in Photopea. I'm going to save as a PSD, and I'm going to export as a PNG. I'm going to save it. I don't care about the settings right now. I'm going to click and export a JPEG and see how the background's white. Okay, so these things look different on an editing timeline, especially in Premiere Pro. Okay, so let's say I want to take this and utilize this in Premiere Pro and edit. So I'm going to go to my download folder, and I'm going to go to get my shape. Where's my shape? Complex shape. Here it goes. Complex shape. This is the one that I just created right now, PSD. Alright, so I'm going to drag it and put it in here. And then it's going to ask me, Premiere is going to ask me a bunch of questions here. Or just one question, really. Do you want to merge all the layers? No. Do you want to merge just the layers? No. Do you want to bring in individual layers? No. I want to bring in as a sequence. So when you bring in as a sequence, you have a folder here with each individual layer, and you have a sequence that's created for you that I can put up here on top. And this is what happens. You will see that whatever I created from before, I have everything put together with a clear background. And when I double click into this, I get to go here and manipulate it some more. So let's say I want to take this heart, put it in here. Okay, so where does it say heart? I don't know exactly which shape it is, so I'm assuming it's this shape. No, it is not. That's a text. I'll just use text. And then the same thing here. I'm going to put that text on top so I can see my text, and I'm going to shrink it, and then I'm going to bring it down and put it right here. And when you change it here in the sequence, it also changes here in this main sequence that I'm editing a video for. That is the beauty of having a PSD file. Okay, and then you can also change all of this into a smaller version, and then you can move this into the corner, something like this, like, you know, where people put all their logos, right? Okay, but yeah, you get the point, right? Look, the logo's right there, or I can make it bigger like this. All right, and then you have like this fancy logo that people use in their so professional editing, right? Of course, you're gonna later on put your logo, you're gonna brand your videos. That's what the PSD is for. And the JPEG, so let me pull in the JPEG. The JPEG is different. Okay, the JPEG makes a clear white background. Or not a clear white background, a white background. And we'll put in the PNG as well. The PNG works very similar to the PSD. Okay, so here's the shape. I think this is the PNG. Let's just check it out. So that right there, let's see what it is. Oh, that's the JPEG. I can tell. Why? Because of all this white. Remember, JPEG smashes everything together into one layer, and then there's a white background. The transparent background just turned white. And I can't manipulate these independently. And then if I were to bring in the JPEG, the PNG version, here's a PNG. Alright, so I take it and put it over here. Here's the PNG version. The PNG version has a clear background, but everything is smashed into one layer. So this makes it easier when I'm trying to edit this specific thing. Make it smaller, make it bigger, move it to the right. Notice how it's not lagging as much because the file size is smaller than a PSD. So it allows you to be able to manipulate this a lot faster. So if you're using something small anyways, like about that big, right? And then you put it in your corner, that is your logo, just like on YouTube. How people have that YouTube logo. Yeah, crispy, right? Crispy. It's like, oh, it's so professional. Got that Peter McKinnon signature, right? I'm trying to teach you how to do all that. Okay? So, I hope you learned something new. Don't forget to like, share, and subscribe. All the equipment that I use to make these productions are in the descriptions down below. If you buy any of this, it'll give me some commission money that I can use to help improve my classroom because stuff breaks. And sometimes students take equipment and then they borrow small stuff like tripods and they don't bring it back or they move away or whatever, and then that's a loss on our end. And there's nothing I can do about it except make money on YouTube and replace it. Thanks. Okay, well, you know how we say goodbye. Get your hands ready. Rock, paper, peace. Let's hang out again in the next video.